Welcome, everyone. We're back with Dr. T and Mr. Ambi for this fantastic meeting. It's been too long. Dr. T, how are you going?
Hello, Mr. Ambi. Good to see you again. I look back, it's been a big break since June, I believe. We last
Has
chatted
it?
in June. How have you been?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, on the record, we've chatted in June. I think we're always chatting off the record, but things have been going well. Things have been going well. PhD life as always. And yourself, what's been happening?
I'm on sabbatical still, and I'm here. Good to hear of all your amazing achievements with your papers and your research and your house,
Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
just unbelievable, mate. So
Thanks. Yeah.
congratulations.
You came along and saw everything, which is awesome. Nice to have you around in Canberra. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
Mate, I'll be back. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Always welcome.
So, so,
So
so
shall
what
we
did
get
you want to
stuck
talk
into
about
it?
today, Mr. Ambi?
I think today the main focus is next week, next Friday, I think it is, the Learning and Teaching Forum held at UNSW. So I think there's a few things to discuss. We've had some issues, unfortunately, with scheduling in terms of the way the talks have aligned up. But I thought it'd still be good just to chat in general about everything, the talk that you're doing, talks that I'm doing, and maybe just go over some of the stuff. So it could be useful. Any other
Sure.
ideas? Anything you had in mind?
No, it sounds good.
Cool.
We're on the same page, and
Yeah.
it is a bit unfortunate that we kind of go back to back, but we're in different places.
Streams. Yeah. And
So
knowing this
I did write a
forum.
special email, and I said, "Hey, this doesn't make sense," and
Yeah.
the person was not super accommodating. But
Okay. Yeah.
things might
Just
work out. You never know.
yeah. You never know, I think it's tough because I think the forum's not very conducive to jumping across streams, which not everyone's interested in all the talks in a stream. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but oh well. We'll make do. We'll persevere and have a good day. So it'll be good.
Mate, you will be there in spirit.
I will. Likewise.
Maybe if I can suggest something, do you want to just go through the slides that I've done
Yes, please.
for this, and then I can have a look at
Yeah.
yours, because I've kind of got to go about 10:20,
That's right.
10:25.
That's
So
right. So we'll keep
let me
this.
see if I can do a screen share here.
No worries.
And gosh, it's been so long. Application window. Yes, I think this is it. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Coming in
Okay.
perfectly.
Now I won't blow it up full screen.
No
Can you
worries.
see it without that?
Yeah, it
Just
looks great. Looks
all
great.
right.
Yeah.
So the only change that they suggested was to personalize this picture. Can you see
Oh,
where my mouse
yeah.
is?
Nice. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
it was originally just 5 people, smiling and going, ah ha ha.
Yeah.
And they said, no, that's our photo. So I just put in like a little mobile thing. I just did from a Google search. I hope that's
Cool.
okay. It's
No,
not
it looks
super
good.
sexy.
No, it looks nice.
So you can see exploring exams at UNSW,
Yeah.
courage, fear, and triumph.
Yeah.
Dr. T, Mr. Ambi. I put myself
Boom.
first because I'm
No, you
presenting, I
should.
guess.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know.
talking. Yeah.
I hope that's okay.
Of course, Dr. T.
Okay.
Elegant.
All right. So essentially, this is um, a slight change from the talk I gave in Singapore
Yeah.
in June. So
Which
it's
was
just
much
basically
longer,
the
right?
UNSW template.
Yeah. That
Um,
talk was much longer, wasn't it?
It was that one was about 15 or 20 minutes. This one's
Yeah.
only 10.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I would like to do it in 5, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. So
Okay,
the
cool.
basic idea, the 3 dot points assessments is changing. There's some predictions made that we're going to shift to electronic exams, and then that sort of breaks in the need for workable solutions. So that sort of motivates the research.
Yeah. Nice. Good start.
Then this is what sort of our questions or our project or research perspectives we're looking at. So suitability of information provided about the requirements, appropriateness of the assessment, and the overall quality of the courses.
Yeah. Nice.
So what did we do? So our intervention was medium stakes. Medium stakes is interesting because it's been sheltered from the literature, discussion in the literature.
Yeah.
Um,
Sheltered or
HBS,
not really even talked about. I mean, or
yeah,
even discussed. Yeah.
exactly. Most people are at the end of the spectrum here.
Exactly.
So history and philosophy of science, history and philosophy of medical science, scale 500 students, multiple exams, courses, and semesters.
Hmm.
So we didn't just do it once.
Nice.
An example of a Maple TA question. And I know the font's small there. I can't really do much about that, but I will just read it if I have
That's right.
time.
Yeah.
So you can see there's an editing tool. You can highlight stuff. You can put, all sorts of formatting in, which is something you can't do with easy with writing.
Yep.
experimental design. So again, this is kind of your O's and your X's.
That's right.
The baseline years are 2015, and the other years are the intervention years.
Cool.
And we did it over multiple courses.
Nice.
Evaluation overview. This is kind of our, I guess, what the methods that we used and the statistical ideas that we used and the focus that it was on.
Yep.
So we did a bit of stats. We did a bit of well, it's mostly just stats, wasn't it? We didn't have much qualitative stuff, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The population groups. So just to say who they were.
Mm-hmm.
And then straight into the results. So this is about the appropriateness.
Yep.
And the thing I like about this, Mr. Ambi, and this is one of your graphs that you did, is you can see sort of 3 years worth of data.
That's right.
All compared against each other.
Yeah, super nice.
So that's cool. So that's about that. To me, this is the most important question. It's not the only question that we asked, but it's the most important one because it's basically, did the students think that the e-exams were appropriate?
Agreed.
And you can see probably with that red bit, there's a little bit of placebo, or the not placebo. The when you do something for the first time, there's something special about it.
Yeah, that's right.
What's that called?
And not just novel, just
different. Yeah. And then it sort of tails off a little bit, and maybe adjusts a little bit in the green one. But anyway, that's fine.
Nice.
And then that's course 2. So same one again.
Yep.
So again, there's a big change there from the blue and the red, and then it sort of settles out again a bit in the green.
Cool.
And due to time, they're the only ones I'm going to do. And then
that's good.
A summary in words. So we found there was a difference, statistically significant difference in student satisfaction regarding these 2 things, and there was no decrease in the overall quality of the associated courses, which is good.
Yeah.
And I think we discussed this before, Mr. Ambi.
That's right.
Have a go.
Yeah.
Just
excellent.
And so 2 things: using not being bound or connected to a certain application for a certain kind of software.
Yeah.
So this Maple TA is like a scientific and engineering, like a STEM testing software, right? But this is very different.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then medium stakes. And then just the acknowledgement.
Yeah, nice.
Now, as you know, this paper up here, we've now submitted that to a different journal, but I can still put it in as a conference presentation. So that's why I've listed it.
No, good.
And I've just been nice and put down everyone who was on the grant.
That's awesome.
So I stopped sharing that.
Yeah, excellent. That's fantastic.
So what do you think, mate? What do you think?
I love the final slide. Have a go. The take-home message, like what can they learn from it, and the 2 main points. I think excellent. That's come together really nicely. So well done. That's really good. How are you feeling? You feeling all right for it?
I'm feeling good, and because I've done it once before, I should be able to go through it. And my aim would be to talk for maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes. And then talk for 3 or 4. As you know, I try to work on a 50% rule, where if it's a 10-minute talk, you talk for 5 minutes and you discuss for the other 5 minutes with the audience,
which is always
very hard when it's only 10 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. But no, it'll come together nicely. So that's awesome. Well done. Very cool.
So what about your one, Mr. Ambi? Tell us about what you're doing.
Let me try and work out how to do this. Do you want to direct me?
It's the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
There's a green screen. It says screen share.
Screen share. Awesome. I see that there. All right, cool. Let me pull up this learning and teaching. In the meanwhile, as I find this, do you want to let me know for next week's forum, which talks seem interesting to you? Is there anything that you're going to in particular?
I'm not going to go to the morning ones. I'm going to go to the afternoon ones. I've got to stay there until right at the end, where I give out the awards to the new fellows for the academy.
Yeah,
so I'm going to try to pace myself.
Yep.
So I think I'm actually going to get there at lunchtime.
Okay.
and then go.
Cool.
But I don't know, are there any things that jump out at you?
Just a few things spread about here and there. It's hard because it's just the titles, but I've read a few of the abstracts and they looked interesting. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I'll definitely have a look into them. I think given that I'm up in Sydney, I'll probably stay for most of the day. So if you're around, if you want to catch up and maybe have a tea or a not I was about to say tea or coffee, but I forgot you don't drink coffee. So if you if you want to have a tea, that'll be great. We'll sort that out. All right, let me do this screen share thing. I got everything ready to rock. Screen share.
And then you just choose the window, application window, and
Application
then the right
window.
one.
And that one. Awesome. Share that.
Oh,
Boom.
got it.
Coming in?
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. So first slide is that. Courageousness in teaching. I wonder if that works. Oh, has it all gone black? How's that? All
Just
good?
talk again.
Hello,
I can see
testing.
it. I can see it.
Yep. Oh, too easy. Awesome. So, yeah, first slide is all about, just courageousness in teaching, talking about what it is, what it means to me. And that's what the second slide's all about. This is what it means to me. It's just the idea of thinking different. Just, as you say, have a go, but trying something different, something new is important, I think. But not only that, I think when you try something different, you need to have sort of a framework. So I'm going to try and tell people, well, what's a useful framework that they can have and utilize for thinking differently. By the way, stop me anytime if you have any thoughts or suggestions. Yes.
Okay, first one. It's not in the should it be in the template for that they gave you?
I wasn't given a template.
Oh, I have to give you mine because
Oh,
they're
please do.
expecting everyone to do a template.
Oh, because last year I sent them my slides and then they had the slides set up for me on the day that were adjusted.
In the template.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I would check that.
I
I can
will.
send you my
Okay.
template though if you want,
Yeah, yes, please. Yeah, that'd be great.
because I think that's what they're looking for. I don't think it's a big problem, but you have to email
Yeah.
them the slides a few days ahead. Okay, so that's just the first thing. All right, keep going.
Cool. I'll remember that. I'll remember that. Awesome. Awesome. Very nice. Thanks for that. So yeah, essentially think different. You need a framework to think different in. So that's where self-determination theory comes in. You know most of this. It's autonomy, competence, and relatedness. There's different ways to enhance each of those feelings, but in a nutshell, what it means is when you do those three things, they enhance engagement, which leads to motivation, and that helps students learn, right? When they're engaged and they're motivated, they'll learn more than if they're not engaged and motivated. So the next thing, the main focus I want everyone who's in the talk or listening to the talk to take away key strategies from what these things are. Great. I know there's three things: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. How do I improve that in my students? Well, here's some clear things you can do to improve that. So prioritize the student's perspective, seek their input, provide some sort of choice, especially with assessments by saying, you can write it on any topic you want if it's a literature review, or conducting formative assessments and asking reflective questions, how to make the subject matter more interesting based on their interests. All these things sort of help by even communicating value in interesting activities. That really helps improve autonomy within students. So that's a key one for that one. Next one is competence. The thing that really helps with competence, students actually love structure to a certain extent, but they love it in the sense of knowing what's expected of them. So if they're given a rubric, that needs to be clear. For assignments, the structure needs to be clear. How they're being graded, that needs to be clear. If there's any ambiguity there, that's what causes a lot of, I guess, angst and frustration. So if you want to enhance competence, have clear structure. And personal best goals is another one, which just encourages students to do as well as they can and try and do better than their previous efforts. And constructive and useful feedback on everything that you have. If you can provide meaningful, formative feedback, that can help with their development. So that's competence. And then lastly, relatedness. Well, what's this one? Well, this one's sort of different to the other two in the sense that it's all about learning communities, enhancing relatedness between the teacher and the student and between the students. So you provide some sort of emotional support network so students feel comfortable with adversity or challenges, so they feel comfortable failing in essence. I do have my favorite photo, which is Dr. T. Where does this story start? I like putting that one up there. So this is sort of a nice segue into me talking about Skiff, how it all started, what Skiff's about, and what happened. The first year went by, I taught, and then this is what happened. These were the results. This is my own personal example that I'm going to use to emphasize all this. So, things went well. Numerically, things went well. I just had no clue as to why they went well. So I asked myself what happened. An important thing to note is I believe that data never lies. Only our interpretation of our data changes. So it's important to understand, well, look past the quantitative. What did the qualitative data said? And it said a bunch of things, right? I was enthusiastic, engaging, and passionate, interested, motivated, and related well with the students. But what I noticed about all these comments, as you remember from last year, is that they were all centered around me and not so much about the student and their learning experience. So I had a focus question: can just focusing on one strategy within the whole framework make a positive and meaningful impact on the student learning experience, enhance student engagement? So what was my strategy? I just sat down, had a conversation, as you remember, with the students for 1 to 2 minutes and just asked them questions. How's your week? How are things going? Once I learned more about them, I said, how's that maths test you were studying for last week? How are things going here? And what were the results? Well, I had these many classes, and I'll go through what the process was like with that and what those students did, but just emphasizing that I had a lot of students and it was still manageable to do this strategy. My observations, well, voluntary student participation was super high. Like, students wanted to put their hands up more so than other classes. Quality of class discussion improved due to more input from different students. When you have more students participating, yet diversity in responses. Students still came to class early, even though they all knew that I was just going to spend the first 15, 20 minutes going around and asking questions. They all still came on time, which could be a reflection of their first year students, that they are advanced science students, so they're academically inclined, or it could be that the strategy had no effect. So either or, I haven't tested that. And students had time to have conversations with one another. So as I was going around each table, I noticed that the students would talk with one another about anything, about life and about school, university assignments, especially during exam time, which helped provide a support network between them. And then I go into the quantitative feedback about my experience, but emphasize that, while this is good, it doesn't really show me much about what the students felt. So I went to the what the qualitative feedback said, and then everything flipped. Instead of focusing on me, it more focused on how they felt. They felt valued, appreciated, they felt personally engaged with and connected with. And that's sort of what relatedness is all about. And that was just from implementing one strategy. And I go through all the feedback. So take-home messages, again, similar to your one. Self-determination theory, useful framework to encourage courageous teaching practices by trying something new. That's what it's all about. There are 3 things: autonomy, competence, relatedness, and engagement predicts motivation. So if you can focus on those 3 things, you can help have a more motivated class. That's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done,
Cheers.
Mr. Ambi.
Cheers. Let me try and bring this back in.
So there should be something saying stop sharing or something.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can go back to the top left and just click it again and just cancel it. There you go.
Awesome.
You're back.
There we go. We're back.
Awesome, mate.
Very
Well
nice.
done. That was great.
Cool.
And I know that the stuff that you got was just off the charts. The data and the rankings and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. So obviously, I think the template, like that's important.
Get on that.
And then, have you timed the talk so far?
Yes,
You have.
is.
And what did you come in at?
Just over 10, so 10 and a half. So okay. I'll probably need to work around that a bit. So yeah, not too bad.
So we're 10. So I think we is it 10 now? It used to be 12.
It was 12, which what I designed it for, and then I think once it got accepted, it was 10, and I was like, so yeah. So I'll adjust for that. Yeah.
So the only challenge is if the person before you goes over time.
Yeah.
And you're sort of
on the time, exactly.
Yeah. So if you're right at that limit, it makes it a little bit more challenging. But I'm 100%. Sure you can navigate it.
Oh yeah.
So I think 3 things easy to remember. Yep. With the design of the talk, it wasn't clear. Like, I know what Skiff is, but I wasn't clear. Like what that course kind of lended itself a little bit more to those discussions and things like this. I don't know if that's worth sort of flagging.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Cool.
that's about
I
it.
think that's important. Yeah, I can talk about that in your slide where it has your face. I'll talk about Skiff
Oh,
and
okay.
what
Oh,
it
yeah,
is
of
and
course. Okay,
what
that's no
that's all
worries.
about and yeah, good point. Yeah,
No
nice.
worries. So no,
Awesome.
I really enjoyed that, and that's
Cool.
and so it looks like you've taken last year's one and you've
Yep.
sort of just recalibrated it a bit and tweaked it a bit. Is that
Frankensteined it a
right?
bit. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just adjusted it slightly just to fit with the theme of this one, and yeah, just go for there. So that's the goal. This is probably the last time. I'll probably retire the talk after this, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I can still submit for Learning and Teaching Forum. But given that I'm not as active with teaching, I don't know. But it'll be. I'm just going to enjoy it this year and see what
Are you
goes.
are you doing any teaching at ANU?
I am. I teach first and second year medical students, but it's sporadic. So the medicine students, they have weird schedules, like it's 6 week blocks and stuff. So I don't see the same students every week for consistently. So that's the disadvantage. But mm,
But there's
mm,
probably still a story to tell there. Even what you've just said, it's like how do you? I mean, that's a challenge, right? How do you
yeah,
actually form a community when you don't actually see the same students?
that's a great question, actually. Yeah, that's probably something I could pursue. Yeah,
Definitely could. I mean,
yeah,
even just as a challenge, right? It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
imagine that you only get to see students once.
Once, yeah, that's great. Yeah, great point. Yeah,
How do you actually make a difference? And I assume that who would be in the same boat here? Well, help centers. So
mm,
somebody who like let's say they have office hours or they work in a central help thing, and you've got these sort of, it's like a call center. You have these people
yeah,
ringing up. Maybe they ring up once and that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
you know
Yeah,
Anyway, it's
that's
something to
right.
think
Ah,
about.
cool. Awesome. No, I definitely will. Now I am wary of the time that you
Yep.
need to go to your
No,
meeting.
got to go. I got
Um,
two more questions for you, but
yes,
anyway, yeah,
please.
keep.
I was just gonna. My question was a bit of a tangent in back to the paper that we published. Have you heard anything from the reviewers? Okay.
I'm checking.
Yeah.
It's gone out
Yeah.
to review,
Yep.
so
Cool.
that's good.
So they're
And it was JETS, I think, Journal of Educational
that
Technology
she's
Systems or
fine.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I had a look. One of the recent papers is on e-exams in that journal.
Nice.
So
Good find. Yeah.
I don't know. I
Cool.
don't know.
All right. Awesome. And your
And it's
two
open
questions?
access as well. So, and there's no
Nice.
page charges, which is good.
Ah, cool. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I check it every couple of weeks.
Ah, cool. Thanks. Cheers. Good to see. Yep.
So a couple of questions. I sit on the board of one of these new startups, right? And they do online one-to-one tutoring.
Cool.
Okay. Now, I seem to remember we were having sushi or something one day, and you
Yes.
said that you used to do this a few years ago as a tutor.
That's
Is
right. That's right. Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. That's right. Yeah, long time ago, maybe 6 years ago. I did it. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
was
yeah.
that what can you remember the name of the place?
Yep. Tutoring Australasia.
Oh yeah, okay. This,
Okay.
this is this is a newer company, I think, but
Okay.
they want to do video hookups. So,
That's the way.
um,
That's excellent. Yeah.
yeah.
That would because I felt that that was the only thing that was missing from the communication level was it was just through typing. So yeah,
Mm,
video forum would be great. Yeah.
that's
Mm,
awesome. That's
nice.
awesome.
So what do you? What's your role on the board? What do you do?
Advice. I'm sort of part critical friend and part sounding board and
Yeah.
part
Cool.
part advocate as well, I guess, to a lesser degree. So
Nice. Awesome.
yeah,
Very cool.
so
Very cool.
so
Yeah.
it's good to see how companies work, and they're all on this big like they're part company, part venture capitalist as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're out, trying to get angel investors in, and
Yeah.
trying to get all this capital from wherever they can. So it's
Cool.
exciting.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
So
Nice.
so we'll
Is this
see.
is this you trying to reach out to me as an angel investor?
No, no,
Is
Mr.
this
Ambi, no,
a
no,
Ponzi
no.
scheme?
Please, Tony Robbins said, he's on board, and you know, the big guys put in 15 million.
That's
No,
right.
um,
I
no,
can
no, no, no,
imagine.
no. Yeah, just because I remember, I I see. It's just stuck in my head for some reason, and
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where you're at, but you were way
Yeah.
ahead of the game there with that,
Yeah. Well,
with the
I just
online
thought it was a
stuff.
good idea. Yeah. It seemed to make sense. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool,
Good to
mate.
see. Good to see.
All right,
And your
mate.
second question, do you remember what it was?
Um, um, I can't remember now. It couldn't have been too important.
Sure.
That was one.
We can
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess I'll just circle back with the. I'll send the slides to you, and you
Oh
can,
yeah,
or
yeah.
do you have them on your Google Drive?
Which ones?
I'm
The
pretty
ones?
sure I would have shared
Oh,
the slides with
maybe. Not sure
you.
if I have the updated ones. Maybe the learning in the forum ones that you did in Singapore.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll share those ones via my Drive with you,
Cool.
and you can just download them and touch
Too
them up. I
easy.
mean, but obviously
But
download
I'll
them,
email
save
first.
them, and then
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
download them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%. We'll do, you have a completely
Sorry,
different talk. You're like, oh yes.
just don't ruin
Um,
it.
yeah,
That's
no,
all I'm
I'll try.
All
You
right, mate,
wait,
I
you
gotta
wait.
go.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some random slides in there for your
Oh,
for your surprise. All right.
Ambi superstar. No, no.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy your next meeting, and I'll talk to you soon. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
see you.
Hope
I'll
to
see you
chat with
next
you
week.
soon, Ambi. I'll see you soon, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. Bye. Bye.
Bye.